Why did the liar stand out from everyone else? Because he was an outlier. Thank you. I'll be here all week. In data science, an outlier is an observation that lies an abnormal distance from your random sampling or your expected values. Usually an outlier is something that's incorrect and you'd want to remove it. That, or you want to examine outliers in isolation to see what's going on. Either way, we need to be able to identify these outliers and either remove everything else or remove them by themselves. Let's look at an example that contains outliers and remove them so that we can see the real data in Dundas BI. Oh, and I'm Jeff, and this is Off the Charts with Jeff. One of the biggest causes of outliers is sensor equipment. Sensors will often report erroneous values that should simply be discarded if you're trying to understand the real values that are being displayed. Of course, I should say that outliers can appear in any data that you collect, and the one I'm about to show is just a reasonable example that many can relate to. A lot of people have cars, so here's a chart where we can see oil temperature readings for a car as it runs throughout the day. You can see that we have some values that are an abnormal distance from the standard readings that we would expect to have. Some of these are even over the melting point of iron and probably caused our vehicle to explode. And then we're back to normal operation. Good job, sensor. Let's use a formula to eliminate these values. To do this, open the formulas bar and type in OUTIQ, which is the function that calculates the outliers in a set of inputs using something called the interquartile range computation. There are a ton of options here, including what to do with the outliers, like hide or show them. And if you're interested in learning about the other options, I'd recommend you take a look at the documentation because there's way too much for me to be able to cover. By the way, if you just want defaults, all you need to do is call this formula and provide the measure name where we're targeting. You can see by doing this that a new series has been created, which has our engine exploding outliers removed. To better view the data, let's also hide the source data because we don't need two series showing the same thing. And let's also change the scale so that it doesn't start from 0. That was easy. If you've got any wild values popping up into your data, for whatever reason, it's 100% worth giving this formula a go. Also, if you'd like to learn a little bit more about formulas in general, I've actually done several videos on the topic. I'd recommend starting with the introduction to formulas and maybe going into one of the more advanced ones like extend your data with Dundas script. That's all for now, and thanks for watching.